What kind of person drinks random goo in random teacups and random tables in random forests? Clearly you. And now look at our little predicament. I've never been devoured like this before, and I'm gonna need to get out of here. I'm no slime person doctor or anything, but I think what we can do is just relax. Just relax and feel the coolness of me inside your chest and against your sternum, like a strong wind of mint, or an entire tablespoon of wasabi, or the menthol vapor your grandmama puts on your chest when you're sick. Close your eyes and let this feeling of a cool spring breeze pull up and out of you and out of this ridiculous situation. And may we go somewhere far, far away. Somewhere with a running creek and a scratchy hipster record. You and I are side by side on a blanket to keep us both dry from the cold morning dew, and we watch as things float by from left to right in the water. We are so relaxed. We are so separate, but together in such a strange way. And in that strange togetherness, we find ourselves both transfixed on a white cat with bright red eyes in the distant woods, and it is transfixed on us. Never seeing a cat with a foe, naturally, we both, for the sake of our sanity, follow it. Up we go from thicketed hill to thicketed hill. Up we go further still, and then down, down to where the woods darken under the cover of pine. The cat leads us left over the creek, right into a hole in a dogwood tree, where we left this earthly plane, right into a world filled with queen bees and a barbecue. The cat only grinned when it saw Alice. It looked good-natured, she thought. Still, it had very long claws and a great many teeth, so she felt that it ought to be treated with respect. Cheshire Puss, she began rather timidly, as she did not know at all whether it would like the name. However, it only grinned a little wider. Come, it's pleased so far, thought Alice, and she went on. Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here? That depends a great deal on where you want to get to, said the cat. I don't much care where, said Alice. Then it doesn't matter which way you go, said the cat. So long as I get somewhere, Alice added as an explanation. Oh, you're sure to do that, said the cat, if you only walk long enough. Alice felt that this could not be denied, so she tried another question. What sort of people live about here? In that direction, the cat said, waving its right paw around, lives a hatter, and in that direction, waving the other paw, lives a March hare. Visit either you like. They're both mad. But I don't want to go among mad people, Alice remarked. Oh, you can't help that, said the cat. We're all mad here. I'm You're mad. How do you know I'm mad? Said Alice. You must be, said the cat, or you wouldn't have come here. Alice didn't think that proved it at all. However, she went on. And how do you know that you're mad? To begin with, said the cat, a dog's not mad. You grant that? I suppose so, said Alice. Well then, the cat went on. You see, a dog growls when it's angry and wags its tail when it's pleased. Now I growl when I'm pleased and wag my tail when I'm angry. Therefore, I'm mad. I call it purring, not growling, said Alice. Call it what you like, said the cat. Do you play croquet with the queen today? I should like it very much, said Alice, but I haven't been invited yet. You'll see me there, said the cat, and vanished. Alice was not much surprised at this. She was getting so used to queer things happening. While she was looking at the place where it had been, it suddenly appeared again. By the by, what became of the baby? Said the cat. I'd nearly forgotten to ask. It turned into a pig, Alice quietly said, just as if it had come back in a natural way. I thought it would, said the cat, and vanished again. Alice waited a little, half expecting to see it again, but it did not appear. And after a minute or two, she walked on in the direction in which the March Hare was said to live. I've seen hatters before, she said to herself. The March Hare will be much the most interesting. And perhaps as this is May, it won't be raving mad. At least, not so mad as it is in March. As she said this, she looked up, and there was the cat again, sitting on a branch of a tree. Did you say pig or fig? Said the cat. I said pig, replied Alice, and I wish you wouldn't keep appearing and vanishing so suddenly. You make one quite giddy. All right, said the cat, and this time it vanished quite slowly, beginning with the end of its tail and ending with the grin, which remained some time after the rest of it had gone. Well, I've often seen a cat without a grin, thought Alice, but a grin without a cat? It's the most curious thing I ever saw in my life. She had not gone much farther before she came in sight of the house of the March Hare. She thought it must be the right house because the chimneys were shaped like ears, and the roof was thatched with fur. It was so large a house that she did not like to go nearer till she had nibbled some more of the left-hand bit of mushroom and raised herself to be about 2 feet high, even though she walked up towards it rather timidly, saying to herself, suppose it should be raving mad after all. I almost wish I'd gone to see the Hatter instead. A mad tea party. There was a table set out under a tree in front of the house, and the March Hare and the Hatter were having tea at it. A dormouse was sitting between them, fast asleep, and the other two were using it as a cushion, resting their elbows on it and talking over its head. Very uncomfortable for the dormouse, thought Alice. Only as it's asleep, I suppose it doesn't mind. The table was a large one, but the three were all crowded together at one corner of it. No room, they cried out when they saw Alice coming. There's plenty of room, said Alice indignantly, and she sat down in a large armchair at one end of the table. Hey there, Alice, why don't you have some cheerwine? The March Hare said in an encouraging tone. Alice looked all around the table, but there was nothing on it but tea. "I don't see any wine," she remarked. "There isn't any," said the March Hare. "Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it," said Alice angrily. "It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited," said the March Hare. "I didn't know it was your table," said Alice. "It's laid out for a great many more than 3. Your hair wants cutting," said the Hatter. He had been looking at Alice for some time with great curiosity, and this was his first speech. "You should learn not to make personal remarks," Alice said with some severity. "It's very rude." The Hatter opened his eyes very wide on hearing this, but all he said was, "Why is a raven like a writing desk?" "Come, we shall have some fun now," thought Alice. "I'm glad they've begun asking riddles. I believe I can guess that," she added aloud. "Do you mean that you think you can find the answer to it?" said the March Hare. "Exactly so," said Alice. "Then you should say what you mean," the March Hare went on. "I do," Alice hastily replied. At least I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know." "Not the same thing a bit," said the Hatter. "You might just as well say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see." "You might just as well say," added the March Hare, "that I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like."
"You might just as well say,"
added the Dormouse, who seemed to be talking in his sleep,
"that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe."
"It is the same thing with you," said the Hatter, and here the conversation dropped, and the party sat silent for a minute, while Alice thought over all she could remember about ravens and writing desks, which wasn't much. The Hatter was the first to break the silence. "What day of the month is it?" he said, turning to Alice. He had taken his watch out of his pocket and was looking at it uneasily, shaking it every now and then, and holding it to his ear. Alice considered a little, and then said, "The 4th. 2 days wrong," sighed the Hatter. "I told you butter wouldn't suit the works," he added, looking angrily at the March Hare. "Now it was the best butter," the March Hare meekly replied. "Yeah, but some crumbs must have got in as well," the Hatter grumbled. "You shouldn't have put it in with the bread knife." The March Hare took the watch and looked at it gloomily. Then he dipped it into his cup of tea and looked at it again, but he could think of nothing better to say than his first remark. "It was the best butter, you know." "Have you guessed the riddle yet?" the Hatter said, turning to Alice again. "No, I give up," Alice replied. "What's the answer?" "I haven't the slightest idea," said the Hatter. "Nor I," said the March Hare. Alice sighed wearily. "I think you might do something better with the time," she said, "than waste it in asking riddles that have no answers." Oh, it is so good to be free of that prison you call your body. Ugh, I can't imagine being completely meat like that. Well, I hope the experience was pleasant for you. It wasn't the best for me, but it wasn't the worst either. Well, I hope you learned your lesson and you won't go about drinking out of random teacups in random parties in random forests anymore. Fantastic. Well, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna read a book without any pictures or conversations. And I hope you have a good life. Whatever that means to you. Ta. Hey y'all, it's Marsha here with Nightmare Public Broadcasting, here to say dang do we simp for that there public domain. The people we publicly simp for are Zemo, Rocco, the Logosamancer, Eafyekta, Yokathul, Pingli, Confused Script, Linsnom, Justin Peekinique 2, Organic Emerald, Spriggs, Sam Myers, Jackson Daniel 42, and a sorry. If you want us to simp for you publicly, then become a patron right now and get access to some of the craziest shit on planet Earth. Just recently, we had an audio with a very certain scary vampire Dommy Mommy, and it might get me excommunicated. Now, y'all stay safe out there. Bye! Oh my god, Pippin, we finished the audio! Yay!